Good morning, Chris. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm excited to present to you this morning the findings from our needs assessment interviews that we had in October, and I'll be presenting to you in a final report. And this presentation here this morning will be actually through 6 key items on an agenda that I'll present to you in this document right here. And those 6 items we'll discuss, and that'll give you a preview of what our final report proposing to enhance your team's performance. From our needs assessment interview, we found that there's going to be some findings. And through those discussions, we had an area of focus, which will be an opportunity for you to enhance your team's strength as well as to minimize weaknesses in your team. And how we're going to deliver on that is following through on a goal of developing a training program. And that training program will be number 4, which will be an actual initiative course which will be standardized throughout your organization, and it will develop your team's talents that are currently incumbent to your team's experience, as well as to new hires. So the two can meet and continue on that performance internally in the company as well as externally for your customer. We'll also go into learning objectives from that curriculum, which then you'll know what to expect from that delivery of that new training program, as well as the outcome, which is the value for your team. And that's very important for your team as well as the value for your customer, your client. So let me go to the first item on our agenda. That first item, the findings, I'm going to break it down into a acronym SWOT, S-W-O-T, which is a matrix which will go into strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So strength, obviously, your legacy in your marketplace of close to 20 years, definitely it gives you a legacy and definitely the experience to deliver a strong service for your customer, which is brand development. And as you mentioned, you're going to be working on your own. But it also can also have some weaknesses, as you mentioned, as you're so busy developing past clients and maybe get complacent. The standardization of training and personalization for new hires to develop even further, and maybe incumbent employees that maybe have gotten complacent with some of their standards will need to build off that and enhance those challenges with a training program. The opportunity is the training program. When implemented over a 3-month, 4-month period, you will see the results by a stronger performance as well as better feedback from your customers, hence return on investment, as well as a higher performing team, less attrition, less turnover, and that will be our goal together to achieve that. The threat. Without this, in a competitive marketplace, clients can make choices to go to other services, as well as your brand maybe not being enhanced as well, and that affecting your reputation. So what you may initially be putting an investment into training will yield a greater result in the long run by having loyal customers and loyal employees. That area of focus that we discussed regarding training, this will create standardization of behaviors and expected acting on procedures and processes, so you will have a more efficient team. The development training program will allow incumbent employees to develop their skill sets so they can grow internally and their careers otherwise, so they would be more likely to stay to develop those trainings, and as well as creating a legacy of talent that will support each other and the new hires by their success. The learning outcome. What we'd like to do is knowledge of your team's culture. So the legacy of your experience of 20 years is carried on to new hires, as well as reminded to incumbent employees. Present positive behaviors and best practice for collaborating with team members and clients. So all are performing, giving the client the best experience, hence repeat business. Review internal resources, tools to enhance delivering on push eject services. Assessment process to measure areas of interest, proficiencies, and maybe areas of opportunities to develop those inefficiencies. So a team can then be performing higher with the right resources to train on. And review topics, teams, practice sessions to apply for successful contribution in situations that maybe does not occur that often, and it can be kind of like a fire drill, if you will, in those training sessions. As mentioned, for the performance of your team internally as well as externally for your customer, the return on investment will yield in the long run, and you will see that by a higher performing team. Your customers will see value and definitely a change in behaviors, as well as maybe less rework, and that allow them to then choose your services again. I look forward to your feedback on our presentation and our document that we're going to be giving to you on the final report, as well as working along with your team to have this successful program instilled into your company's organization. Thank you for your time.